And we are now on.
I don't have enough props at my desk.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of good props to bust out.
Yeah, I got this weird old pipe.
I have my mask.
Yeah. And
Ooh, I should silence my phone.
I have an unopened NES Classic.
Sweet.
I got my curtain is blowing because I got a fan going tonight because it is literally 90 degrees upstairs right now.
Dude, have they not fixed that AC yet?
Nope, getting fixed Friday.
Motherfucker.
Yeah, week and a half.
You better get like a 2-week credit on your damn rent.
Seriously, God. Ugh.
Live in a damn sweatshop. Shit.
A game that tune sweatshop.
You'd think we would get more output from it, but
Nope, because it's me.
Haven't had a sax tape the entire time the Patreons existed.
Yeah. I want to
Just
be
real quick, that Smash stuff. Oh boy.
Hopefully you guys chose a Castlevania or a Donkey Kong Country game so we could talk about it on the show.
all we picked.
Yeah.
You figured
I
it
picked
out.
King K. Rool's theme 15 times. Oh, good.
How absurd.
All right. You guys ready for me to start up a countdown?
Yes.
Very ready.
Okay, we're not talking Smash. That's fine.
All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man. It's Game That Tune back in the house with that epic intro yet again. It's your boy, John Harrington here. And standing next to me, I got David Fleming. Say hey.
Hey!
And since the two of us are the competitors tonight, I'm going to turn over the hosting reins to Johnny or Jesse, whoever talks first. So one of you guys say hey.
Hey! So yeah, guys, this is first round of our yearly August Absurdity. And I was just thinking about it today. This whole thing started as April Absurdity, and I don't think we did an April Absurdity this year.
Yeah, we canned that. That was we can't do that many absurdities a year.
It's too absurd.
Indeed.
So this is our first round. Last week, John won our seeding challenge. I got to pick a person to play against, and he picked our absurd king, David Fleming. And so it was up to Jesse and I to pick songs for this week. I think we have a pretty good selection of songs for you guys. I think we're going to have a little bit of a challenge ahead of us. I'm pretty excited about it. I'm hoping we have a clear winner because I did not come up with the lightning round backup plan. So somebody please win.
Well, I believe the standard rule is if no winner is declared, it goes to the king to decide. And as I am reigning king, I will make the decision over who wins.
We established a lot of fake rules, and we've never established that rule.
Yeah, of all
I'm
the
pretty
fake
sure
rules,
it was a king decree.
Oh man, yep. So, man, it's gonna be a fantastic episode tonight. I'm feeling good. After last year's defeat in August Absurdity, coming down all the way to the wire. Guys, I gotta admit, I fell into a pretty dark place. But I'm back. I'm feeling better than ever. I'm heavier than ever. I've changed things in my life. I've got my son with me.
Oh, we're gonna whip out the baby.
Yeah, so with this baby on my team, there's no way I can't win this year. I have the sympathy vote now.
I was about to say, I disqualified John for going for the obvious sympathy vote by bringing out a damn baby.
Yes, last year I channeled Bane, which was a mistake. This year I'm channeling this adorable baby. How can you want David to win when I have such a cute baby?
Got a point.
Aw, he's so cute. No, damn it!
Guys,
Yeah.
this isn't American Idol. There is no sympathy vote. You get points or you don't.
Oh, okay, then I'm putting the baby away.
Yeah, unless
It just makes me think that you have like a drawer of babies to put him away in.
Yeah, did you see that movie A Quiet Place? It's kind of like that. But anyway, this is not going to be a quiet place. This is going to be a loud place full of awesome video game music. And I'm hoping that Johnny and Jesse have a great show for us. And I hope that we're going to tip it off in fantastic fashion because this next game is going to be the answer to a trivia question one day, baby. So, Johnny, what do we got, man?
Game 1.
All right, this is Nintendo CEO Reggie's favorite game. All right, guys, let's see some answers.
Man.
Unfortunately, there we go. David came in. We both have Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past, which is correct.
Hot damn. So, you tried to go with some of the obscure songs, so I'm sure our listeners are now raging that you're not playing their favorite songs.
But you know what? We have a solution for that. After we're done with this episode, they can go to youtube.com/GameThatTune and check out our 24/7 radio stream where we will have this music added. They can listen to any track they choose via our handy chatbot for putting in music requests.
Wait, any track? How would you go about doing that?
Oh, simple. You go in and read the description on YouTube and it gives you instructions.
I was gonna say, I think you covered it pretty well. I think this it's good that we finally used the Link to the Past on the show. It's kind of ridiculous. One might even say absurd that it took us until episode 121. But yeah, speaking of the YouTube thing, we totally got like raged on by a guy in that YouTube thing. He's like, "You don't have fucking Link to the Past?" I'm like, "Well, we put things on as we use them on the show." And he's like, "I don't care about your show." I'm like, you're right. We probably should just put a Link to the Past in here at some point. Like, because, you tried to go with some of the obscure songs, but you can't do that, man. There are no obscure songs in this game. Because it's one of the greatest games of all time, baby. I love this fucking game. David, talk to us about all your childhood memories of playing Link to the Past.
See, I'm glad that this game was brought up because we might have another fight on our hands. See, because this is not one of my favorite Zelda games. And I think the problem is I played Ocarina of Time first. So playing Link to the Past was like, oh, this is like Ocarina of Time, but with less dimensions. Okay.
Yeah, what's the problem with that, man? You're gonna judge, old games based on newer games? That's pretty harsh way to judge games.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that, like, I don't have the nostalgia love for this game that other people do. So I'm just like, yeah, it's really, really good. I don't have a personal attachment to it, but, I'm glad it exists, and it's a fun game.
Okay, hateful sociopath.
I'm kind of with David on this, to be honest with you.
Really?
Because, well, for one, I didn't grow up with a Super Nintendo, so I went from Legend of Zelda to Ocarina of Time, and that's a pretty big jump. So anything backwards is going to be like, wait, this is weird. Now, granted, that's when we're kids and we're like, oh, 3D graphics are the best. What's this 2D bullshit?
Mm-hmm.
See, now I can look at a critical eye and be like, you know what? They're kind of apples and oranges if you think about it.
Yeah, they're really, besides the fact that they're the Zelda series and borrow the, like, I guess magic mirror / time shifting elements. They're really not very comparable games. They're kind of two different things. But it's not a debate that I really want to get into. I love both Ocarina of Time and A Link to the Past almost equally. I definitely played the shit out of A Link to the Past when I was a kid. Back in those long summers of not going outside and just putting time into exploring this world. Hyrule seemed like a real big place back in the day. And, it was just, it was just my kind of game. I felt like I could explore. And, I discovered, I think this was the first time in video games, maybe the previous Legend of Zelda, but like, these games were the first time I discovered like a love of gambling in video games, where you go to like the rupee hut and open the chest. It's like, come on, 500, one, shit. Okay, I gotta go again.
I will say that I mean, as I said, like, I have no nostalgia for this game. I'm not like, oh, it's the best thing ever because I played it when I was a kid. You played it as a kid, that's great, but I will say that experiencing this game for the first time when I was in college, if I recall, the opening sequence where you're like moving through the rain and going to rescue Zelda, like, that is moving stuff. Like, that's incredible.
Yeah. See, and like that just like became like the standard kind of thing in games in my brain back then. It's like, well, all games should aspire to be like this. This is like, this was a pretty early SNES title. Like, why aren't all games made with this level of production and care and just attention to detail? And
every single game, regardless of what it should be, requires you to go into a sewers to rescue somebody.
Yeah,
F-Zero, go into the sewers.
Every single game should start with a scene of you in the rain having to go rescue your uncle or whatever from. Like, the uncle tried to make this his game. He's like, just stay here, bitch ass. I'm gonna go to the castle and take care of this myself. And then it's like, well, okay, hold on. My uncle's kind of an old man. I should probably go check on him. Oh, look, he's dead. This is my story now. Like, that's the shit. So, yeah, man. It's a classic game, and I love that they were able to revisit it in A Link Between Worlds, which I'm also surprised we haven't featured on the show yet, because it might have been a little more of a covert pick at some point. But I just love
that might be in somebody's back pocket in the near future.
Yeah, no kidding. But yeah, man, the SNES Hyrule is great. I loved the items. I love the exploration. I love finding the magic spells that don't really have much consequence on the game. I guess you have to use them at some point to open some things. And I feel like also this game had some of the coolest back then, like big ass bosses. I'm trying to remember. Because it's like in the early going, you're collecting the 3 pendants or whatever, and it's like, okay, well, you got to fight like the weird jumping statues, and you got to fight. Oh, shit, am I really like brain farting on this right now?
There's also the giant. Oh god, it's the giant like masked lizard where you have to smash the mask off.
Yeah. See, I was going to say, in the early going, you're doing like the 3 pendants thing, and it's like, okay, these bosses are okay, but they're a little bit lame. And then once you go into the Dark World, and you have to start going to those 8 dungeons, then the bosses get big and fucking crazy. Like that first Dark World dungeon you go to that's got the masked, lizard demon thing that you got to smash the mask with the hammer. And that whole dungeon is just like a baffling hammering ordeal, and I love it every time. Like I go back to it. I've never been able to memorize it, so it's always just it's like fresh to me. It's like you got to jump and you got to fall and you got to push shit, and it's just like I could play this game, front and back and never memorize it and have a great time playing it every time. Trying to remember the other boss that I'm thinking of that freaked me out in this game. There was like the crazy moth. It was the
there's like a floating eye with rocks.
Yes, that you got to you get to kill it with the hook shot. You get to pull little things off of it and beat it up.
There's like a 3-headed rock monster of some type.
Are you just like going down the Wikipedia list now?
Yes.
His name is
Trinex.
Yeah.
There's something that's like he looks like slime and it's all eyeballs.
Yeah. Okay, that's the one I meant with the hook shot.
I was going to come back to that. But, John, what were you going to say?
Yeah. John, do you have one more before you fucking interrupt me?
No, you go ahead.
It's the boss that takes place in the dungeon that's underneath Kakariko Village. It's like a thieves' hideout. And like in the light world, you hear a story about how, a crazy thieves guild used to live here or something. And then in the dark world, you go there and it's this big elaborate dungeon. And then you have to rescue like this little girl or whatever and take her through the dungeon with you. And when you get to a certain room, she's there and she just like, it's like, all right, cool, I'll hang out here. And then it turns out if you like expose her to sunlight, she turns into a giant fucking monster and it's the boss of the dungeon. So it was really fucking freaky at the time because it's like, okay, wait, like I didn't take her anywhere. I just took her to like a dead end room. But that room, if I look on the map, it's labeled boss room. What the fuck is going on in this thing? And it's like, bomb some holes in that thing, shine some light down in that room, go back and she's turned into a horrific monster and you have to kill her. Like, this game's twisted, man. I loved it.
So, I was going to say, like, that boss, I think it's in the swamp dungeon where you get the hook shot and it's like the giant jellyfish monster with all the little things and you have to yank it apart with the hook shot and then attack it. That is still one of my favorite bosses in the whole Zelda series. That thing is
so much fun. It's so much fun to fight. Like you're yanking off its little things, and then it starts jumping around and trying to smash it. It speaks to how fun a boss fight can be when really well thought out, and it uses the fun Zelda items. So, yeah, man, I fucking love Link to the Past. I might just go boot up my SNES Classic and forfeit August Absurdity and play it right now. So,
you heard it here first. John has forfeited August Absurdity.
In the event of a 1-1 tie in which one contestant forfeits the rest of the game to go play one of his favorite games, the winner shall still be John Harrington. I'll talk to you guys in like an hour and a half.
Just a little analysis so far of what I've noticed between this epic match between John and David. David sure seems to be, asking about different rule changes. he's trying to get technicalities of. He sure is desperate to win this thing. But I'm not sure this is a very noble way. What do you think, Johnny? How do you think David's reaction in this?
I agree, Jesse. I think David is pulling some bold moves here, trying to institute some last-minute rules changes. As one of the presiding rules officials, I will not be allowing any of these last-minute rule changes. I believe that both of these fighters entered the tournament knowing the rules, and to change them at the last minute would give one an unfair advantage, so we will not be changing the rules tonight.
Agreed.
I'm sorry, just as a quick aside, what is the point of being king if you can't make a decree?
Yeah, man, it's like, David, that's straight out of the end of Coming to America. I love it. Anyway, let's just see how many rules David tries to change as it goes forward. I'm declaring it now. He's shook. He's scared, and I'm going to win this bitch. Johnny, let's go to game 2.
Or do you want us to skip to game 3, David? Oh.
Game 2.
Yeah! Tricked out in this land of decay. Total madness. It's a problem, yeah. The world is over. It's a problem, and I love it. We can do this the simple way. I prefer to keep it complicated. No dreams and no hope. They've been terminated. Main focus on attacks and movement. Streets are dominated by pollution and mutants. Fight like a boss, time to trigger and finish them. Plant, seek, and devour flesh is how we live it, friend. Mutated creatures to destroy is the purpose. I used to love the city, now I spit on its surface. No fears and no tears, that's the vision here. Stepping over bodies full of virus and cancers. I'm immune to it, bathed in it, gaze in it. Get a rush from it when I see the earth plummet. New day, new pains, new defense. Smell of death is in the city, criminals running rampant. Survival of the fittest while the weakest lay comatose. Cancerous epidemics spreading like common cold. No hopes and no dreams, I'm useless. No cares and no fears, I'm useless. No hopes and no dreams, I'm useless. I'm useless cause I'm ruthless. No hopes and no dreams, I'm useless. No cares and no fears, I'm useless. No hopes and no dreams, I'm useless. I'm useless cause I'm ruthless. If there is a memory, misery in the eyes. A prospering humanity is on a decline. Reservoir radiation in mind. Hopeless, my kind of town, so you know what I'm open. Creatures so grotesque, a pain in my chest. What's this? A foreign agent burn a hole in my vest. Pain and struggle is a new form of happiness. Each step, you're smelling the decay of mutilation and madness. Unseen, been seen, too many leaving lean. Regurgitated from a mutated being. Parasitic agents, smallest bacterium. Can't see them, but they got the city still fearing them. Heads explode, and the bodies enroll. This ain't a gated community. Drop tops, cell phones. No fear, no shame, no pain. No rest, chin check, you better keep spraying. It ain't over yet, but it will be over. Yes, yes. The end is begun now. But I love it, it's my kind of world. A lot of y'all scared. I can see y'all scared. Survival of the fittest. Will it be you? No hopes and no dreams, I'm useless. No cares and no fears, I'm useless. No hopes and no dreams, I'm useless. I'm useless cause I'm ruthless. No hopes and no dreams, I'm useless. No cares and no fears, I'm useless. No hopes and no dreams, I'm useless. I'm useless cause I'm ruthless. No hopes and no dreams, I'm useless. No cares and no fears, I'm useless. No hopes and no dreams, I'm useless cause I'm ruthless.
I know you want me, stop playing hard to get. You know you want me, just trying to make me sweat. I know you want me, come on and place a bet. Cause if I win, I get to have you as my pet. I know you want me, stop playing hard to get. You know you want me, just trying to make me sweat. I know you want me, come on and place a bet. Cause if I win, I get to have you as my pet. I know you like me, I see it in your eyes. I think this is no surprise, I just wanna make you mine. Just name the place and time, my heart is on the line. One hit to my face and the chill down my spine. Cause love is sick, even a little twisted. One look in your eyes like a party got me lifted. Pretend you're hitting me, feels like you're touching me. Just wanna show you that I want you exclusively. Come on and make the chemistry, I know you feel it. Anything you want from me, you know that you can get it. I'm fighting for your heart, so baby let me in. Cause even as we grow, you know that I can win it. like if I just get the chance to hold ya. Just wanna show you I care as you're pulling my hair, as you bring me from here to there. I know you want me, stop playing hard to get. You know you want me, just trying to make me sweat. I know you want me, come on and place a bet. Cause if I win, I get to have you as my pet. I know you want me, stop playing hard to get. You know you want me, just trying to make me sweat. I know you want me, come on and place a bet. Cause if I win, I get to have you as my pet. So do you feel me, do you even know my love exists? How much I'm longing for your kiss. A duel to the death, as we fight fist to fist. So I keep back in my eyes, I pucker up my lips. Oh, when you hit the ground, I kinda like the sound, just like the beat of my heart. So can you hear it now? So hard to explain, like the blood through my veins. It's driving me insane, it's driving me insane. Cause I don't know what to do, head over heels over you. If I could just get a chance with you. Look what you're putting me through, my eyes are black and blue. You're hitting me and I'm kicking you. I'm going crazy, I just wanna be a lady. I'm going crazy, I just wanna be a lady. So tell me what to do, baby. So tell me what to do, baby. I know you want me, stop playing hard to get. You know you want me, just trying to make me sweat. I know you want me, come on and place a bet. Cause if I win, I get to have you as my pet. I know you want me, stop playing hard to get. You know you want me, just trying to make me sweat. I know you want me, come on and place a bet. Cause if I win, I get to have you as my pet. So tell me what's it gonna be? Is it gonna be you and me? I like it when you're hitting me. It feels like you're touching me. Don't tell me easy on me. I know that you're feeling for me.
I know you feel
So tell me what's it gonna be?
Tell me.
Is it gonna be you and me?
All right. Sorry. Okay, so this game features 17 playable characters, plus one additional character that was DLC that was actually from Bayonetta.
Yeah. Get out of here with that shit, man. Yo. You don't know me and you don't know I'm going through, so fuck you and your lame ass point of view. That should have been my whole mission from the start. You putting it together, I tear it all apart. What? Gotta get mine, stepping through this minefield, and what's not mine becomes mine. You mine? That's the way I gotta take it from the mans. Put a price up on the fans, I put let up in the stand. It doesn't matter who the target is. You know I'm gonna finish it once I get it started, kid. That's the way I gotta market it. Marksman, mercenary, making all your hearts skip, and I can turn you into parts quick. Put you in a box and ship you off the yard 6. Where the non-believers go. The ones that started pleading cause they couldn't take the bleeding from the beating, yo. So you might wanna shut your mouth before you end up in a pine box headed down south. Your mama brought you in, I'ma take you out. Send you down to hell, you can burn like gout. I'ma make it clear, I won't leave a doubt. I told you I'm here, it's my only route. So you can stick around cause it's gonna be a thriller. In this world, ain't no other option for a killer. I just gotta get the cash, gotta get the dough. Gotta get the cash, gotta get the dough. Gotta get the cash, gotta get the dough. Body for a price, just say so. Gotta get the cash, gotta get the dough. Gotta get the cash, gotta get the dough. Gotta get the cash, gotta get the dough. If it means kill 'em all, then I won't say no. No is what I hear all the time when I'm slaying them. Body parts, so nice for laying them. Slice, dicing up some mayhem. Gotta keep it light in this dark world of gray and black. But you can get your axe to the back or a slap to the face from the clap of a gat. Strapped to your waist, plastic to your hat. Back, feel the tragic collapse. I say this pretty serious, so maybe you should start thinking, well, it's time to be fearing this. Cause if I keep hearing this, I'ma have no other choice but to leave your whole fam hearingless. Yeah, that's how really real it is. I care about my pockets, not about your feelings, shit. So when I kill you, man, it ain't personal, it's just the only way I still can make a grand. Understand what I'm talking about? Get the picture of what this all about? It's time for you to walk it out. You don't wanna be around when these dogs start barking out. You don't wanna play the target route, cause I don't get paid unless the fucking target's out. That's the way it goes, that's the only way I know just to make my dough. Gotta get the cash, gotta get the dough. Gotta get the cash, gotta get the dough. Gotta get the cash, gotta get the dough. Body for a price, just say so. Gotta get the cash, gotta get the dough. Gotta get the cash, gotta get the dough. Gotta get the cash, gotta get the dough. If it means kill 'em all, then I won't say no. Shit, you think I'm just gonna sit around and do nothing? Huh. They're fucking monsters out there, man. Somebody's gotta kill them. You can keep your justice, man. I got my justice right here. Gotta get the cash, gotta get the dough. Gotta get the cash, gotta get the dough. Gotta get the cash, gotta get the dough. Body for a price, just say so. Gotta get the cash, gotta get the dough. Gotta get the cash, gotta get the dough. Gotta get the cash, gotta get the dough. If it means kill 'em all, then I won't say no.
gotta say, it was really difficult finding 3 songs from that soundtrack because the whole thing was fire. And that was also a request by Dell.
Oh, was it? Well, well, well.
What you guys got? This is for some points. We got David with Anarchy Reigns and John with Anarchy Reigns. Both get it right. Neck and neck.
So much in the way that this is a sequel to last week's episode. This is the spiritual successor to a game from last week's episode. I gotta say, I'm surprised we're dipping back into the Platinum Games Jack Kamen universe so soon after Mad World. But gotta say, hearing the music, I'm totally okay with it.
It is so goddamn good.
I'm really still pissed that like I'm only like a week into knowing about the Mad World soundtrack. Like I fucked up bad. Like, you gotta be kidding me. I've been really missing out. But so Anarchy Reigns is not actually a sequel to Mad World. It's more of a spiritual successor. Did any of you guys play it? Looking at probably Jesse on this one.
Nope.
I have not yet, but once I discovered it, I had a burning desire in me to play this game because it's basically like a Platinum All-Star beat 'em up that also features Bayonetta in it. Like, as soon as I realized, like, oh, it's a beat 'em up game with Bayonetta and Jack from Mad World, I need this in my life.
Right, yeah, that that sounds like hold on, checks list. A mighty need. Yeah, this it looks way more colorful than Mad World. I'll give it that. They finally decided to color everything in, which that's good.
Well, it's because it's on the PS3 and not the Wii. So
right.
all of a sudden they had the access to like technical specifications that allowed for things like color.
Yeah. Movement and color at the same time.
The pressing of more than 3 buttons.
No waggling anything.
Yeah, no waggle.
Yeah. And they still had access to the greatest resource, Steve Bloom, given the edgy performance as Jack Kamen. It's 2013 when this comes out though, so it's not really the mid 2000s anymore. So it's really edgy. I don't know, man. World might have moved on a little bit, but God damn it, I have cats fighting in my house. Sorry, I got distracted.
How absurd!
Indeed.
Similar to cats fighting, this is a game about one character fighting hordes of enemies.
Yeah.
You guys keep going.
So yeah, I was watching some videos, and yeah, it's just a beat 'em up. Like they were saying, it reminded me of like I guess Fighting Force or something like that. If you've ever played that game, but it looked really fun. All the characters looked fairly unique, although they're all kind of like either muscle dudes, kind of like reminiscent of Gears of War or something, with like the gigantic chests and shoulders and arms and stuff, or over sexualized women and stuff. It was typical 2000s beat 'em up.
So say, I mean, to be fair, it is a Platinum game, so all of the guys are jacked and all of the women are sexy. So
yeah, I'm looking at screenshots now. It looks like one guy's like a militarized version of like Heihachi from Tekken, and then the other thing that's in the screenshot is just a bunch of spikes and a woman's butt. So like, yeah, that's kind of the vibe they're going for on this one. It's not.
Well, I was reading through a character list for the game. It was like, okay, it's got Jack from Mad World. It's got a couple other characters from Mad World. Some of the bosses and everything. It's like other playable characters include a mass-produced combat mech titled the Gargoyle. Like, I don't know what that is, but I want to play it.
Yeah, sounds good. I like it. Yeah, the game looks like a lot of fun. It looks fucking like it keeps that same insane spirit as Mad World. But I guess it's, so it's got more of a multiplayer thing going. It's like a beat-em-up fighting game. Did I mishear that, or?
No, it's like just like a beat 'em up.
It's just beat 'em up. Damn, I thought it had a multiplayer thing.
There was multiplayer in it though. I believe there was like online multiplayer, like deathmatch and stuff, and capture the flag and things like that.
Okay,
and there's probably co-op too.
Good. Okay, my brain kind of works, but yeah, looks cool.
Now, John, I have a question for you as a PS4 owner. The PS4 is backwards compatible with the PS3, is it not?
Not to my knowledge. I never bothered trying.
No, it's not.
Yeah, I was gonna
Oh,
say,
well, shit. I was
after
gonna say, like, I want to get a PS4 for like Kingdom Hearts and that Spider-Man games. Like, this is PS3. Obviously, I should be able to play this.
No.
Wait, I can't.
no,
Fuck.
I don't think that you can at all.
However, with the like PlayStation Now service, you can essentially like stream PS3 games on your PS4. So kind of it depends. The games on the PS Now, which I
Right.
actually tried out when I had a PS4, and it was not bad. It was pretty fun.
Yeah, I've been meaning to try that, but I already have too many games to play, so I haven't bothered. But yeah, after the PS3 and it being shittily not backwards compatible, I didn't even bother trying to see if a PS4 is backwards compatible. Also helps that I still have my PS3, so I could play this. Or I could ship that giant-ass thing to you, David, and you could play Anarchy Reigns in between your Kingdom Hearts sessions once you get that PS4. I think that's what I'll do. That makes
How many
sense.
systems are you shipping off?
Several. I gotta unload some weight around here. I got these big old systems from like 6 years ago. They're so heavy, these Wii U's and these PS3s. Like,
I think
why?
David could play this on his Xbox 360 that he has, I'm pretty sure.
That's true.
Hey,
That's
hey.
very true.
He makes a good point.
Better hit that GameStop.
Yeah, better check that red ring.
Does
Is
David
it,
actually have a 360? I was joking, but now I think he might.
Oh, he
No,
totally
I do.
does.
I do have a
Oh,
360.
shit.
And I have refused to sell my 360 because that's the only way that I can play Scott Pilgrim versus the World, the game.
Yeah, see? Heard that one before.
Because
so,
to completely derail the content that we're describing, Scott Pilgrim versus the World, the game is fucking awesome.
speaking of good beat 'em ups for the 360,
There you go. That's a segue
man,
for you.
there's the crossover they needed. It's nice they had Bayonetta as a DLC character, but how about Scott Pilgrim in Anarchy Reigns? Like,
How about Scott Pilgrim in like every game?
yeah, I mean, we just had
Smash.
Smash announcements today, and we're already upset that Scott Pilgrim's not in there. Like, hey, how about the Belmonts and King K. Rool? Yeah, that was cool for like a couple of hours. That really tided us over. How about something else, Nintendo? Jesus.
But now give us this.
Yeah.
I remember, I think that was one of the first or second Mii fighters I made was a Mii brawler based on Scott Pilgrim, and damn if it didn't fit in perfectly.
Mm-hmm. It would. It really would. But yeah, man. Great soundtrack to these games. I really should have known about these back when they came out. Like, I remain pissed at myself for not knowing these. So, David, it's we're 2 games in and we're tied 2-2. John, he admitted that he didn't prepare a lightning round, so I'm prepared to propose a tiebreaker in lieu of a lightning round. Should we go forward and completely tie this game? I'm willing to up the ante. I'm willing to make this strip game that tune.
See, I thought you were going to say it's like, I have a tiebreaker prepared, a bonus game that I have selected.
Of my own choosing. Yeah. No, I am willing.
That's not fair at all.
I'm willing to submit to John and Jesse the tiebreaker of whoever is most naked by the end of the show. In the event of a tie, wins the game. And in the event of a non-tie, then they're just embarrassed and naked. So, I don't know what you guys think about that, but I'm willing to do it for August Absurdity.
Is the winner limited to you and David? Because I will get naked right now if it means I win.
No, you have your own game. You have your own match next week. You can't cop out of it.
No, double. No, I
Just
win
start
twice.
the show next week and John's already naked.
Oh, Jesus God. No standing up. But yeah, so mull over that new rule change while we hit game 3, and we'll just see where this night goes.
I may work
Game
on a lightning
3.
round in between. So we'll see how that works.
What the fuck was he thinking?
Does this mean that I have time to take a pee break, or?
This is very unprofessional, and I
Yeah, it really is.
apologize.
David, I'd say get your pee on, man.
This was not part of our plan.
Folks.
Oh, he's back. He's kind of looking. Oh shit, he's figured it out.
Shit.
Yeah, John, David.
Oh, wait.
Hey, that's David's fault.
Yeah, I should probably wait for David.
Screwed.
Hey,
Oh,
you
man.
disappeared so much that David went to pee himself, so instead of just pee himself.
I had to pee so
Fool.
bad. Oh, my God.
John, man, bottle.
I know. That's what John does.
I thought I had enough
Seriously.
time. Oh, God
Great
damn
big
it.
cup.
How late was I? How many seconds would you guesstimate that I was
I
You
late?
had
just
long
start
enough to
talking?
comment on it, decide if David should go pee, send him away to pee.
God
You know,
damn it.
There's been time.
right.
Seriously. You need to go to a football game and get a souvenir cup.
Okay. This game has a special shop that appears only when you play this game on a Game Boy Advance. It does not appear in the 3DS Virtual Console versions because those are using a original Game Boy emulator. Or I'm sorry, Game Boy Color emulator.
I'm sorry, just to clarify, there's a shop in the game that's in the original version but not in the 3DS version?
Yes, because it only appears when you play the game on the Game Boy Advance. The 3DS version is using a Game Boy emulator, not a Game Boy Advance emulator.
Okay, I gotcha.
Uh-huh. Gotta say, John, I'm surprised. If I'm right. Whatever. Whatever.
All right, let's see some answers.
Keep this tie going.
Ooh, wow. Man, you both say Legend of Zelda Oracle of Ages / Seasons. I was going to not count it if you only said Seasons because this is specifically from Oracle of Ages. So I'll give it to both of you. This is Oracle of Ages. There is some game-specific music between these two games.
Oh, is
Oh.
there?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, John. Gotta say, I'm surprised by that.
Getting tricky.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is Ages.
This is Ages.
Not
Oh, this
Seasons.
is Ages. Fuck, this is the worst one.
Ah.
Or the worster of the two.
David, I hope you can speak to that because, man, handheld Zeldas are my ultimate Zelda blind spot apart from Link Between Worlds and Minish Cap, which are great.
Okay, it's not the worser one. It's not a bad game. It's just So, Oracle of Ages and Oracle of Sea. Before I go on to this, anybody else play these two or no?
I did buy one of them. I forget which one it was, but I do remember being intrigued by the whole. There's two of them, and they can, I intended on beating it and playing the second one to like do the connectivity stuff, but I never did that.
I wasn't on board, man. I didn't need the Pokemonification of the Legend of Zelda series. You could try and sell me 2 Zelda games. You only need to sell me 1, baby. And also, I just wasn't into handheld Zeldas. But anyway, David, go for it.
It's really a cool idea because it's basically one game, and originally it started off as a trilogy, and that gets into a whole other thing. But it's one giant game split onto 2 cartridges, and each one is slightly different because each one is based on like a different aspect of the Zelda series. Oracle of Seasons is much more combat focused and much more action heavy, and Oracle of Ages is much more puzzle based. So it's a lot harder because it's a lot more challenging in the sense of you have to think more, and the puzzles are a lot more difficult. Whereas Oracle of Ages, the difficulty in that one is much more about like, are you strong enough to beat the hell out of all these monsters? So Oracle of Ages is a lot more like a classic video game, for lack of a better term, because you have to like level up your character and get stronger and fight tougher monsters, where Oracle of Ages is just kind of like, here's some hard brain teasers, figure it out.
Well, I like that. I could see how that would be an interesting way to split them up, like one more combat heavy and one more puzzle heavy, because that's the 2 things in Zelda, baby. So make one.
Just that the puzzle element, it's not as immediately rewarding as the action element.
Of course.
So it's kind of like it's a slower paced game.
I think that's why so many people give shit to the Zelda like puzzle element, in Zelda. It's like, oh man, another box pushing thing. It's like, motherfucker, I love pushing boxes. That sound when you get that room right is so rewarding. Like, what are you talking about? I love it. But never played any of them, so shit, man. I really got to go back and get on these. I'm years behind. But again, it's handheld Zeldas. I just I played Link's Awakening back in the day. It was fine, but it wasn't. It was no Link to the Past. It was no Ocarina of Time. And then I just kind of moved on, and eventually I got my hands on Minish Cap, and that blew everything away. So fucking handheld Zeldas are really a low point for me. I'm trying to think of the other one. Am I missing any other ones? The DS ones. May we not even get into that.
Spirit Tracks is dope. I'll say it.
Yeah, good soundtrack, and better than Phantom Hourglass. But no, not for me. I think I played the demo of Phantom Hourglass. I'm like, oh no, that's not gonna be a Zelda game I play.
Yeah, but in Spirit Tracks, you get to blow a train whistle, and it's more fun than it has any right to be.
That I get it, man. I fucking love train whistles, and I always have. So, what kind of instruments do you get to play in Oracle of Ages and Seasons? What do you get to blow in this game?
If I remember, and Johnny, you seemed ready to answer, so back me up on this. Oracle of Ages, you get a harp. Yes. That lets you bounce back and forth from 2 time frames. In Oracle of Seasons, you get a rod that you can wave and change the season.
I'm kind of pissed because, I spent like 30 minutes watching a whole video on this game before the show so I could be ready to talk about it, and David's just covering it.
You know what, John? Why don't I take a back seat? Tell us about Oracle of Ages and Oracle of Seasons.
Tell us about that rod. So, Legend of Zelda, in Rod We Trust.
Legends of Zelda Link's Big Ol' Ride.
It's pretty interesting because it's basically the Sonic 3 and Sonic and Knuckles of the Zelda series, and that you have to buy 2 cartridges to get the real ending of the game.
You would compare this to Sonic.
He found a way, folks. The show's over.
It doesn't have the lock-on technology. Instead, it uses a
Fuck
it uses a password system. After you beat one game, you get a password that you punch into the other. And what's kind of interesting is the password actually affects things in the game of the next game. Like characters that you talk to will remember specific events from the previous game, but only if you use a password from the previous game, which is pretty neat. And then once you've beaten both games, you get to fight a final boss, 2 final bosses. You get to pass. It's the twin witches that turned into something. Twinerva, I think is what their name is, and then Ganon, of course. So you only get to fight
Spoilers.
Ganon. You only get to fight Ganon if you buy both cartridges, which is not a great selling point for me.
See, yeah, that's the thing, man. I talked about the Pokemonification of this. I wasn't aware that you got the true ending. Like, I wasn't aware there was lock content that was only accessible in with having both games. Like, that'd be fucked up if you bought Pokemon Red and you got all the way to the Elite Four, and it's like, yeah, hold on, man, you didn't buy Pokemon Blue too. You're gonna need that too before you're gonna need to show me a fucking Meowth before you enter the Elite Four. Like, fuck.
No, I mean, here you could Pokemonize it a little more though. By you have a friend by one, you buy the other, you beat it, you give the friend your password. You get his password, beat the other game.
Or like a link cable, you link them up. I mean, that's right there in the fucking name. Legend of Zelda Link Cable. It's a fucking fantastic, perfect product. And you transfer me your rod, I transfer you my fucking harp. And we open up the puzzles in each other's games. It's a little rod transfer cable. What's wrong with that?
When you say Legend of Zelda Link Cable, I immediately think of a Legend of Zelda and Cable from Marvel Comics crossover, which sounds pretty badass.
That's badass.
I was just watching Deadpool 2, and I'm in favor of that.
I just imagine Princess Zelda praying to the goddess Hylia. It's like, I need a hero to come, and there's this beam of light, and Cable steps out and just fucking shoots and guns down everything in his path.
Turns that knob on his gun. Yeah. Okay, where's the pig monster?
But I mean, to be fair, the only way to fight Ganon and get the true ending is if you play and link both games. But each game has its own final boss and has 8 dungeons, and you get a full complete story with each game. So it's not like you're missing out on content. It's just instead of fighting Ganon, you're fighting, whoever the fuck is not Ganon.
That's the whole thing. As a guy raised on Zelda, if I don't get the sweet satisfaction of killing that giant pig monster, and quite frankly, I haven't completed a Zelda game, so I would have had to buy both of these. You want me to fight, whatever, Vati, the, mystical wizard or something? That's all well and good. Show me Ganon. Where the fuck is he? I know he's here. He's always here. I'm going to fuck him up.
It's kind of like every time that you play a Zelda game where the main villain isn't Ganon, that period right before the end when Ganon pops up and says, "It was me all along." It's like that's where the game ends. It ends before you get to that point.
Okay, fine. I guess that's okay. I was thinking, does that make Ganon the Poochie of the Zelda world? Whenever Ganon's not around, John should be asking, "Where's Ganon?" Because he's coming. He's gonna be there.
All right. Now you have made me want Breath of the Wild 2, a giant surge of dark energy with Ganon on a surfboard riding it in. Wiggity, I'm here to conquer Hyrule.
Wiggity, wiggity, Triforce of Power. Word up, party. This game's getting all fucked up. Just Ganondorf in a backwards hat and sunglasses. And quite frankly, I'm into it. They could do that.
Always remember to pray to your sages. To the extreme!
Yeah. Oh, man. You beat him and I have to go now. My planet needs me. He's got a sword in his head. He's dead. No, my planet needs me. That should definitely, we should work that in. Why don't, David, you and I should work for Nintendo. We really should. I'm sure we'd be able to.
Just imagining us delivering this design document and pitch to like Aonuma and Miyamoto. Like, oh, you're fired.
Yeah, go back to America, you jerk asses.
Do you guys remember that decade where David and John worked for Nintendo and every single final boss had the exact same ending?
They all just paused and looked right at the camera and then floated away. It was really weird.
So long, King Bowser. I have to go. My planet needs me.
See, now I just want to go, I want to get into the YouTube game and go back to editing fucking, Nintendo 64 final boss fights to end with that sound. Like, that makes so much sense, quite frankly. But anyway, fantastic. I can't believe we got 2 Zelda games on one episode. That is a great way to pit me and David against each other. Quite frankly, I didn't see that coming. I can't believe this tie continues.
I have developed a pretty good lightning round. So.
Oh, what the hell, man? I just took off my pants. Fine.
I mean, you could still. I didn't tell you not to. You could still.
I did it for comfort, but I also did it for the tiebreaker. So, anyway.
It's interesting that you say that, John, because honestly, I'm feeling pretty warm right now.
Oh man, we'll just see how this goes. So anyway, great game. I would say great tunes, but that's subjectively untrue. It's Game Boy Color music, so it's fine.
Fine tunes.
Yeah, fine tunes for the Zelda series. And let's just see if we can break this tie going forward, man. Let's have it.
All right. Give me 1 second. I had to kill my sound for it so I could go to Google Drive and download your bonus music, and it's all
good.
It's taking a second to come back up.
I don't mind, man. We got the time.
Come on,
we're running ahead of schedule.
There it goes.
Game 4.
All right. So this game has many action adventure elements similar to the Legend of Zelda series, and your main character has a default weapon as a knife, but he can collect other weapons such as swords and crossbows and bombs. All right. How you guys feeling on this August absurdity evening?
Feeling real good.
Feeling not good at all.
God, John.
One.
What about it?
All right, let's see what you got. We got David with Beyond Oasis. We got John with Beyond Oasis. You are both correct.
Oh!
Holy shit. It's
What
like
you
the
doing
magic
feeling not
of-
good at all about a right answer, you son of a bitch.
I didn't think it was Beyond Oasis. Because I'm pretty sure the default weapon in Beyond Oasis was a scimitar.
No, sir, it's a dagger.
No
Well.
shit.
You could do like kicks and stuff. Like you eventually find a whole bunch of scimitars and other kind of swords that you use most of the time. So like any videos you see, you're probably gonna see the dude using the sword. But like the first weapon you have is that dagger, and I think it's your best friend sometimes.
That's it, Johnny.
Yeah.
Dock him a point for trying to get all actually about the scimitar. That's how
I
we
honestly,
win.
God damn it. When Jesse and I were planning this episode, we said, okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to have kind of a shit sandwich. And these past 3 songs are supposed to be the shit of the shit sandwich. And you got them all right, both of you. God damn it.
Uh-huh.
what I was sitting here listening to was like, it sounds like Genesis music. And when it comes to Zelda games on the Genesis, it's either Beyond Oasis or Landstalker.
Ah, man. Should have gone with Landstalker. I wouldn't have guessed that. This was my default brain move. It's like, oh, man, they're pulling something. They got 2 Zelda games, and this is Genesis music. It's probably Beyond Oasis. So,
God damn.
nice job, guys. Great plan.
Hey, we're having fun. And
We
it's
sure
absurd.
are, man.
I'm having a great time.
Oh yeah, you kidding? It's great, man. So Beyond Oasis, I didn't play it because I had a Super Nintendo and therefore did not need to play this because I had real Zelda. But this game looks really cool. Looks like you're like a blonde guy wearing Aladdin pants and fighting stuff.
This is basically Legend of Zelda plus Aladdin on Genesis, right?
Yeah.
Pretty much. I mean, it's way more actiony. It's way more actiony than Zelda.
Mm-hmm.
It's
I'm
more
getting that vibe from looking at it.
in that case, but there's a lot of dungeon crawling and magical items, and you got to get certain spells to advance, and like it is very Zelda-esque, but it's definitely its own thing too.
And the guy's got better fashion than Link. He looks a little bit like Link, but he's got like this infinity gauntlet, and he's got like a black tank top going on, and he's got those puffy Aladdin pants. So he's doing way better than Link in the fashion department. I love Link, love Zelda, but like I don't know, man. The green hat, the green sleeping hat is kind of getting worn out. Like, but
He's definitely cool, and with that dagger, like he can do like the sweet roundhouse kick and stuff.
ooh, I love a roundhouse kick.
And like some of the magic is situational as far as like it'll do certain things. Like you'll come up to like a door that's on fire and you'll use your water spell, and instead of attacking, it'll summon this like fairy that puts the fire out and on the door and stuff. So I don't know. It's a neat game.
Yeah, and I'm
it's
sorry,
really
is it?
pretty for a Genesis game too? It's like one of the prettiest Genesis games.
Yeah, it looks really nice. Is it called The Story of Thor in other countries?
Yeah, it is. It's weird.
That's a stretch, and I love it. Like, it's Story of Thor. Oh shit! Do I get to bash stuff with a hammer? No, you're basically Aladdin with a dagger. We're not sure why we called it this.
Because when I think of Norse mythology, I think of the desert.
Yes.
Those
Looking at
wacky
the
Japanese.
also looking at like the European and Japanese cover for this, it's pretty clear that whoever was making this was just like watching Aladdin and was like, we could make that into like kind of an action game. Like there's like a jacked ass genie looking thing, but he's not blue, he's red. And then there's like Aladdin. I mean, it's pretty clear where they were getting their inspiration from. This came out like 95. They had to have just been sitting around watching fucking like Robin Williams Aladdin and being like, okay, well we can't rip this off wholesale. So, okay. And then they got halfway through. They're like, okay, this is boring. And it turns out somebody was already making an Aladdin game. Why don't we just use these assets and like put them in a Zelda setting and just, let's just do that with them. That'll be good. Okay, sure. Fine. Whatever. You got to crank this game out or you're fired. Like, that's my prediction for what was going on here. But it looks nice.
Yeah, like the bosses are all like gigantic and beautiful and are very super challenging, and like it's just a really great game.
Yeah, it looks good. Has it been re-released since then? Because it's just
I think
I'm
it
not
might
gonna
be on like one of those Sega Genesis collections. On like
I'm pretty sure it was on Virtual Console on the Wii.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Well, then I should have gotten it. What the hell's wrong with me? Oh wait, Wii's Virtual Console. That's been a minute. Yeah, awesome, man.
Oh, and
anything-
Yuzo Koshiro did the soundtrack, and
that
pretty
bears
great.
mentioning. Fucking A, man. I mean, I'm looking forward to editing the show because I always put the background music in there, and I love kind of just doing a deeper dive on some of these soundtracks. So I'm hoping that more of the soundtrack sounds really awesome. Yuzo Koshiro does fantastic work across the board. So I'm sure there's some fun stuff waiting for me. Unless Yuzo Koshiro was just taking a day off and just like, let me just kind of hit the fart button a few times on this sound chip. Like that doesn't seem like his MO. I think he cranks out a good soundtrack. And if you gave him the opportunity to fucking score a Zelda game, I think he'd be like, oh, yes, holy shit, let's do this thing up. So I think I got a good soundtrack to look forward to during editing. Anything else on Beyond Oasis? David, how you doing, man? How are those pants?
My pants are off.
Okay, that's good. So are mine, baby. Are we coming up to our last game?
We are.
Oh God, we're gonna have to really kick this up a notch.
how absurd!
I agree. So let's just see where this goes, man. Let's see if we get a resolution.
Game 5.
All right. This game takes advantage of the Nintendo DS's stylus in various ways. The player can draw shapes to open certain doors and plot out the path of ships on the ocean. All right.
Wow.
All this absurdity. This is so absurd.
Indeed
Gentlemen,
it
are you
is.
guys ready? Are you guys ready to make this absurd? David's so ready. Zelda Phantom Hourglass. And seriously, which happens to be my daughter's favorite thing to say, Phantom Hourglass. You guys are correct, of course.
Wow.
So do you want to discuss this game or get right into the lightning round?
So
I'd like to point out how John on a previous episode had made a point to say that like Zelda music was kind of his forte and like he always chose the Zelda games, and most of the games on this episode were Zelda. I kind of feel like this was supposedly stacked against me.
Well, no, because you've picked some Zelda games too, and I know that you're a huge Zelda fan. I thought it was like putting two titans of Zelda up against each other.
Yeah,
like, technically, you should be honored that I think of you in such high regard as
Yeah, I mean, that's true.
a Zelda connoisseur.
Yeah.
Like to put you on the same platform as John, who has fucking Zelda tattooed all over his body. Like he's probably going to be in the next.
I can show you one of those.
Yeah, my thinking was, okay, Super Nintendo Zelda goes to John, Game Boy Zelda goes to David, and then Phantom Hourglass goes to both. The first and the fifth are supposed to be the easy games, and the three games in the middle tonight are supposed to be like fuck you games. And that didn't happen.
Work, man.
You guys are too fucking good.
Anarchy
Jeez.
Reigns isn't really a Zelda related. That was just a fan request. Because they have a request.
The theme was Zelda games and games that are kind of like Zelda, except Anarchy Reigns.
Pretty much.
Not really the same at all.
We really
But,
just
man,
wanted to do 5 Zelda games, but it turns out that A Link to the Past music is just like remixing every Zelda game, so it got a little hard.
I'm telling you, there's a reason we haven't picked it. Because first and foremost, this is a game show, a competitive guessing game show, and Zelda music rather easy to guess. So
Usually.
that's
also,
where
it puts a lot of great tunes on our station on YouTube. So it's
that it
simple.
does. Yeah, so everybody should check out youtube.com/GameThatTune and listen to our 24/7 video game music live stream. Thank you to all 700 of our subscribers there. You're all
700?
fantastic. 700 motherfuckers.
Oh shit! I didn't realize you were that high now. Oh my god.
If we could convert that into like $1 a piece on Patreon, then we'd really be rolling in it. But no. So get your ass over from YouTube to Patreon and give us a couple of bucks. But in the meantime, Phantom Hourglass. No.
John, get ready on the soundboard because you need to play a sound. I'm going to say it. Phantom Hourglass is my least favorite Zelda game.
Whoa!
Not remotely what I meant.
Not yet.
I mean,
I feel like he was trying to give you a take of his, one that maybe would generate controversy.
I know that
There you
Phantom
go.
Hourglass has its fans, but in my opinion, I think this is probably the worst Zelda game.
Now, I would have agreed with you, or I would have disagreed with you up until they started re-releasing like Zelda 2 with like a save state feature on virtual consoles, thereby making the RPG elements usable. Because Zelda 2 sucked ass, but then once you could actually like save your experience points and come back and keep playing, then it sucked a little less ass and became more playable. But based solely on, this is your John Harrington seal of approval, me never wanting to play this game again after a short demo. Yes, this is probably the worst Nintendo system Zelda.
Well, if you want to qualify it, yeah. Because
Yeah.
my whole thing is like, the Temple of the Ocean King it's a cool idea. It's not fun in practice. Plus, this is the only Zelda game where you don't get an original item. Like, every item in this game comes from another game.
Don't like.
I had fun playing it. Yeah, I beat it. I was like, oh, it's just more Wind Waker. And
But with touchscreen controls and stuff, Johnny, there's your hot take. Jesse likes this game.
Hot take.
Cool.
like,
I mean,
it's not like
Let's be
great.
positive, Johnny.
But
Or Jesse,
was
tell us
good.
about the things you like about it.
Like, I really love the controls, like just using the stylus for everything, and it wasn't like dumb or anything. Like, it just flowed well. Like, moving Link was easy, attacking stuff was easy, using the boomerang was great. Like, I don't know. To me, it was more Wind Waker, and it had that weird pirate dude who was kind of like a coward and weird linebacker or whatever his name was.
Yeah.
Had more Tetra, and I mean, who doesn't want more Tetra? Like, it had its moments. Like, it wasn't, like I said, it's not a great Zelda, but a Zelda on the DS back then I thought was fun. You know, of course I never played Spirit Tracks, and I'm sure that one's better, but
Yeah, see, Spirit Tracks
I
like
enjoyed
takes
it.
the foundation of this game and improves it and makes it better. And I want to, I mean, Jesse, you are entitled to your opinion, and that's wonderful. Differing opinions is what makes the world great. But I disagree with the more Tetra point, because Tetra gets turned into a statue in the beginning of this game and
you got a
never
problem
says
with people who
anything,
get
never does
stoned?
anything.
Oh, I thought you were going to say
Well,
you got a
it's
problem
just
with
like-
girls that get turned into statues, bro. Space.
Like, Tetra was like, Tetra was this cool, like, awesome pirate queen character, and then she just gets turned into a statue and doesn't do anything. Like, where's the sense of
Yeah,
urgency? Where's her,
Shit
like,
happens.
doing anything? Like, what?
Yeah,
There's
this game doesn't
fucking
pass the
ghost
Bechtel test.
ships and stuff going on. Like, the world of Hyrule is a very dangerous place, David. Like, fucking someone could be turned to stone. A fucking fish could jump out and start talking to you. Like, all sorts of weird stuff happens. I mean, come on.
He's right.
I mean, I would recommend playing Spirit Tracks, because, again, everything that this game does, Spirit Tracks does better.
That's fair, because that game came out second, and they got to, refine everything. So again, David, judging fucking older Zelda games on newer Zelda games and their innovations, kind of fucked up. But
I like how you agreed with me, even though you never played either game, and then turned that around to tell me how my opinion was fucked up.
yeah, man, have you not been on this show for 120 episodes? This kind of my brand. Maybe I know about this game, maybe I don't, but I think you're pretty fucked up.
However, we can agree that Minish Cap was amazing.
Minish Cap is
Minish Cap
so
is amazing.
fantastic. God, why did I have to burn through that in our first April absurdity? Man, we could be talking Minish Cap right now. Ugh, just put on
But
those
instead, we
minutes.
could be talking lightning round.
Minish Cap.
All right, we're going to play a rendition of Real or Fake. I'm going to be going back and forth. Items from the original Legend of Zelda, the one for Nintendo Entertainment System, gold cartridge, the building blocks of everything we know and love. So I'm going to give you an item. You tell me if it's real or fake. If you get it right, it goes to the next person. If they get it wrong, the other person can steal and win, or get it wrong and we keep going.
I love that
How's that
Jesse's clearly defining the lightning round rules, something Johnny fails to do frequently.
All right, let's go with the king. David, blue ring.
Real.
That's correct.
Also real.
John, green ring.
Fake.
That's correct.
Uh-huh.
David, wooden shield.
Real.
Incorrect. John,
That's right, it wasn't specified wooden.
can you win with this one?
Uh,
Magical sword.
oh, okay. I thought I got to guess wooden shield. Magical sword, real.
That's correct. John wins.
Oh, so we're not, like, going through, like, a set number? It's literally one
I
mistake?
explained. I said if you lose or if you get one wrong, you get to steal and win. Otherwise, you keep going.
All
We
right.
can keep going if you want.
All right.
Hold on. I wasn't quite ready. Here we go.
Calculating computer activated.
Oh yeah, good.
Computers. Beeps.
George Lucas slamming his dick in
Scoring complete. This game's winner is John Harrington.
Hey, John, you know I have a Zelda-themed win jingle.
Yeah, they're
Oh
all
my
just
God.
they're all just numbered 1, 2, and 3. I don't know which is which off the top of my head.
Hit them all, baby.
All right, hold on. Desktop soundboard. Where's my file?
Jesus.
Oh, well, you figure this out. I'm just gonna take my leave of absence from the episode.
Oh, just like that? Oh no. Oh God.
This
You
game's
really
winner
did it.
is
There we go.
John Harrington.
Well, this got weird.
Damn, I thought that would show up on camera.
I thought I saw it. Oh no, you gotta order some darker markers or something, David.
Yeah, I know.
Anyway, enough about David's dry erase penis. I just won the episode.
Sure did.
Man, you know it had to be this way, David. I'm sorry, but
John, if
Go for it.
I can take a brief moment before I hand it over to the winner, I ain't even mad. I mean, the last August Absurdity match between us ended on a lightning round point. You know what? I'm a little upset at myself, but by all means, you earned this.
Yeah, it's I think we're going to be doing this for a long time, and I think this rivalry is just going to stay as strong as ever. Except now there's not a lot of Zelda games left to guess. Thanks guys for the planning on this one. But yeah, it was a great game, and I realized what I needed to do to win was to get you in a weird headspace and get everybody butt naked, strip away all pretense. Your crown is gone, my guard is down, and here I am, world, butt ass naked, August Absurdity finalist for 2018. I'm so glad that people listen to this podcast because they do not need to see this Twitch broadcast. So yeah, awesome night, awesome show. Nice try on the screwovers there, my friends. But all you did was strengthen me and David's resolve to keep being great at the show. And
I just wanted to make a good show.
you did great.
It was
You
a
guys did.
damn fine show.
3 Zelda games in one show. How could it not be a great show?
We really
Unless you
wanted
chose Phantom Hourglass as one of them.
We really wanted to do 5 Zelda games.
Yeah, we were trying.
See, that would have been pretty great because then you probably would have had to resort to another CDI Zelda, and none of us needed that. So glad you stuck to your guns.
Four Swords and another game that
It
sounds
was
like
Triforce Heroes,
been-
and
Yeah.
technically, we've only used Wind Waker HD, so you could use the original Wind Waker.
Oh, trust me, I specified HD when I did that so that we could use the original Wind Waker at some point. So yeah, man, it's gonna be good. But in the meantime, fantastic episode. Thanks to everybody that watched along live with us. We got a great. Well, actually, before I shout out the live viewers, so next week it's Johnny and Jesse going head to head. Me and David get to flip the whole script on them. So, they were pretty generous to us. So maybe we don't have to be totally screwing them over in the next episode, but we'll just see, man. We'll see how it goes. Yeah. There's plenty of Sonic games I can pick. Actually, Johnny might have picked nearly all of them at this point. So.
Oh no, we're definitely pulling like Sonic Shuffle.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so, get it ready, and it'll be great next week. So Johnny and Jesse head-to-head on next week's show. And thanks again to everybody watching along live with us, listening in podcast form. However you get your game that tune, we appreciate it. We're live Wednesday nights at 9. twitch.tv/GameThatTune, youtube.com/GameThatTune, and facebook.com/GameThatTune. You can find our podcast in iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts. And you should check out patreon.com/GameThatTune. We missed the month of July because right as I was about to publish some really fun stuff, my computer crashed and I had to wipe everything off. Literally, I basically have a new computer now. So we're going to get you some July and August Patreon content coming real soon. So you should get to Patreon and give us some Patreon content, which I think means money. Give us money at Patreon and we'll give you content. That's how that site works. So go check us out there. Special thanks to our Patreon superfan tier producers, Alex Messenger, Lance Revere, and Andrew Oliver. You guys are all fantastic. And thanks to Dell for the request tonight. You can hit us up with requestgamethattune@gmail.com. Find us on Twitter at GameThatTune, or find us individually on Twitter to hit us up and talk about video game music and make requests for next week's episode. So hit me and David up with requests to screw over Johnny and Jesse, or be nice to Johnny and Jesse. Let's make this the positive August absurdity. So you can find me on Twitter at jgangsta187. You can find David Fleming on Twitter at
EFD Fleming.
Yep, and you can find John Regan on Twitter at
JP Regan JR.
And you can find Jesse Moore on Twitter at
Sega_legend.
Hell yeah, fellas. So, I don't know why I chose the bonus tunes that I did. Maybe it's just because I...
You know what, John? I'm going to interrupt you. I don't know why you chose the bonus tunes you did either, because you may have won this round this week, but you have not won August Absurdity, my friend.
Oh,
I believe
right.
that Jesse and I get to choose the bonus tunes for next week, no matter who wins.
Fine, fuck it. So, Johnny, I assume that you'll be playing Live and Learn. Let's just hear those bonus tunes, you son of a bitch. Now, what do you got, man?
I have Teamwork from their album Super Nintendo Sega Genesis. This is a remix of The Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past with Killer Mike and T.I. Never Scared.
Ooh, you son of a bitch. Oh, you can do it again. The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past is copyright 1992 Nintendo of America Incorporated. Anarchy Reigns is copyright 2013 Platinum Games Incorporated and Sega Games Company Limited. The Legend of Zelda: Oracle of Ages is copyright 2001 Nintendo of America Incorporated. Beyond Oasis is copyright 1995 Ancient Corporation and Sega Games Company Limited. The Legend of Zelda Phantom Hourglass is copyright 2007 Nintendo of America Incorporated.